Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to the Pensacola, Florida, and we are underway. Here we go.
Off the head of Fala.
Now the team we're rooting for on today's matchup will be is South Carolina Gamecocks.
Wednesday last week, it was the game that ensured perfection for Mississippi State in the SEC regular season. South Carolina has dominated the overarching series, but this Mississippi State side, especially when they switched back to their favored 3-6-1 in the second half, didn't allow a single shot to the Gamecocks, came back and won it 2-1 last week. Smashed upfield by
What is going on? Like, really?
We're going to see a lot of contrasting styles in these two games today. The reality for these teams, they're so defensively stingy, and they both have great transition movement.
Our jerseys is maroon like red, and Mississippi State is white. Shelly Smith is our head coach for our women's soccer team.
Very compact between their lines, between their players, make it difficult for State to find space in the pocket. Where Mississippi State's going to play that lower line of confrontation, but it's going to be still a mid-line press. Finding it against the sideline, using that sideline as a conduit to create turnovers and ignite their attack going forward.
Very decent turn, sends it back to Maddie Anderson, who was a little bit banged up coming
and our team is shooting that way, and Mississippi State shoots that way.
Good in that game the other night, coming up with a
we'll be shooting on the left.
Commits the pen and then has enough composure to step up and make the save to keep Mississippi State in that game.
And Mississippi State will shoot on the right.
James Armstrong, sixth season at the helm for Mississippi State. The Dogs have the worst winning percentage of any team in SEC history, which makes the fact they finished 10-0 perfect this year all the more incredible. This is a program he took from the cellar in the SEC and has made it a buyer's market. One of the best seasons in conference history. Husband sending early service over Sayusis. But we take a look at what it takes for South Carolina to spring the upset and reach a third final in the last 6 years.
Well, Mike, there's three ways to progress the ball through your opponent. Through, over, and around. When South Carolina is playing through, they have to be meticulous and very tidy in those central areas. That's where Mississippi State is so many numbers. But then if they're going to play over, that's the way they can bypass the trap, go directly into Cat Berry and start their attack from a more advanced platform on the field.
Now,
Fala into Berry. The Earth, the solar system revolves around Berry as it pertains to this South Carolina team. Long run for LaPasser, the former Ole Miss Rebel.
you got 7 more hours
Decent interchange there.
until
Toward Collins. Chase this into the corner. AC Hodge put under pressure.
Well, Mike, that attacking sequence comes from the movement of Cat Berry off of the front line. She provides that advanced platform to bring the midfielders into the game. Shelly Smith wants more possession from this South Carolina team. That's going to allow numbers to be a bit higher up in the field. Katie Shea Collins draws an opportunity there from a corner kick here for South Carolina.
Well, there will be no video review of that play. Get to that in a
get
minute.
it, man! Oh,
Very targeted. That tug of the jersey, given that it's inside the penalty area, was that enough for Jonathan Weiner to contemplate going to the monitor?
I thought it was pretty harmless, innocuous there. Yeah, she grabbed the jersey for sure, but it didn't really off-balance Collins there in any way.
There is our referee, second game he's worked in this tournament. South Florida native who's been around this conference for quite some time, has worked in the professional ranks as well. All knocked out of play. Collins, that gets out, belongs to the Bulldogs. How do they maintain SEC perfection?
Well, Mike, we talked about them being the defensive aggressor. In their last game against Tennessee, their lines got so stretched that their best playmaker, their press, was so ineffective. So we're going to see them lower that line of confrontation and be dense between them. And then when they can, turnover South Carolina. They're going to be swift in those transition moments to wreck through their combinations to look to find Ali Perry and Martinez Montoya in the pocket.
Angling over to Perry. Lofts it long for Maine. Meadows holding her off. Eventually able to swivel around and send this away. Zuloff. Ran into Hodge. Back from Titano. And turned over to Hodge.
Good positioning there from Macy Hodge. You can see Hodge knows exactly where Kat Perry is. Every time there's a turnover, she wants to be that cover shadow, denying entry play into that advanced platform of Kat Perry.
Meadows and Gracie Falla. Falla, the 2023 Defender of the Year. Where the Riley Combs took this year. The aforementioned Combs streaking in. Walking long for Maine. And met by Siusis. So when you talk about Mississippi State's mid-block, you describe it as almost their best player, their best feature. And you talk about a top 5 team, how rare that is to see. Try and describe that. Perry, Hodge, big parts of that, Charlie.
Well, it's the heart of their game plan. It's been the heart of their success in that mid-block. There's an emphasis on cutting off central passes, allowing the 9 to funnel possession to one side. They use a cover centers to then mark the sixes for South Carolina. And once the opponent plays into the trap, that's where State looks to create those turnovers. They fly forward. It is the best combination of personnel and tactics that James Armstrong can employ for this team.
Here's your first question. What hero of the Old
And it's led Mississippi State to 14 straight wins. Yet they still feel like there's another gear to unleash, putting 2 great caps together. Felt like they came out a bit flat against Tennessee in the second half. That ultimately forced the game into overtime. But Mississippi State, we thought maybe we were going to penalty kicks once we got to the second overtime period, but it would have been just a singular penalty that could have ended it. Maddie Anderson comes up with an enormous save in the 98th minute to keep the game alive. They come out of the intermission between first and second overtime for 15 seconds. Tana Martinez Montoya, SportsCenter top 10, deservedly so. And Hannah Johnson's assist on it was simply sensational as well.
What was the save from Maddie Anderson that completely changed the complexion of that overtime? She received a very difficult ball back from Shoet Berger, commits the foul inside the penalty area, and then just has so much belief, steps up there so stoic, makes that save, and you just felt like that was the moment that Mississippi State was going to garner the win.
Maddie Anderson had just this stone cold killer face, right? I mean,
yeah, we highlight it. Without saying anything, she said, I got this, my bad.
Yeah.
Go score a goal now.
No doubt.
Which they did.
They did. Long for Maine, met by Meadows. Patrick, who scored the opener for South Carolina in their win against Alabama. Mississippi State, this incredible turnaround to the point where they're playing for semifinals in back-to-back years. They've never done it in their first 28 years of history. Worst win percentage in the conference, even still after winning 19 games over the last 2 years, including, of course, all 10 this season. This runs out of play, and you think back a couple weeks ago, this was a trophyless program. Maybe they had won the In-Mississippi Cup, but that's about it. Well, SEC champions, they won at Maggieland, back on the PJ, arrived chains, trophies, and yes, lots of cowbell. And on opening day here, as is tradition, the regular season champ receives their hardware. That was on Sunday.
Mike, this is a Mississippi State roster that is absolutely steeped in so much talent. They've got attacking players, they have workman-like players, and it's the tactical approach that suits this team so beautifully. A prolific attack as well as that compelling defense. They've got match winners all over the field, and that is the reason why they were regular season champions.
Well, they compare that regular season trophy with the Magnolia Cup. They won them both. I've got genuine belief that they can win this tournament too.
South Carolina displaying some belief right now. Very brave to get on the ball and try to build through Mississippi State's mid-block. But that's what they want. They want to be able to invite Mississippi State's press a little bit higher. That's going to free up space for Collins and Barry to receive the ball higher up the field with more space and using that urgency that Coach Shelly Smith talks so much about. As soon as you receive it, we break that press. Let's go to goal. Let's put some accountability and ownership on us to go and create some attack.
Yes, Jennifer. Shell Silverstein is correct.
Ball sneaks away from Schubach. Cat Berry, part of a South Carolina championship squad in 2022. Grad student trying to add another trophy to her cabinet. They won it in 2019. It had been the better part of a decade since they had won that trophy previous at Orange Beach. And then the first year here in Pensacola, South Carolina reigned supreme.
Sorry, time is up. Nobody gets the $100. The answer is
The contender every year. In the last 5 years or so, they've been as dangerous as anybody come tournament time. Knocked down by Render.
You both need it.
Slides, but Gutierrez in behind.
Well, I'm just so. Let me tell you. Tell me to tell you that I haven't been here for.
Arkansas or Texas, 4 top 25 ranked teams, top 25 RPI teams involved. Collins trying to sneak by.
Riley comes. That's why she's Defender of the Year right there. South Carolina trying to play a bit more vertical through Katie Shea Collins. Well defended by Riley comes there. And that could have been an easy miscommunication between her and Maddie Anderson. Both of them getting so close to the top of the box. Not sure which one is going to manage that situation. Combs holds off the runner Collins.
Ball drops in to Hodge. Pirouettes away from Zumoff. Schubach. Fala.
We'll be right back.
Pulled back by Husbands.
So get your card at gsm.com/bingo and they're free. Let's meet tonight's
Passer.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Middletown, New Jersey.
Middletown, New Jersey. What do you do?
Currently a high school science teacher.
High school science teacher. John, tell me a
A
little
little
about
bit
yourself.
more shade
San
today.
Antonio, Texas. And you're a Marine. I am a Marine.
Plenty more humid. Humidity in Florida anywhere between 70-80% throughout the state. There is no avoiding it. And you are, for these teams, both benefiting from the bye. Top 4 seeds did not have to play on Sunday. Now everyone's on the
I can
exact
tell you
same
one last-
platform in terms of rest.
Kinda. I mean, South Carolina had a very
boy.
comprehensive, decisive
On
win
May
over
1st,
Alabama.
2024.
Felt like they were in control of the game
Oh,
for a
fool.
large majority
Now,
of that. Got some players some rest.
God.
Were able to possess the ball, which saved a bit of legs as well. Mississippi State had to go almost the full distance.
Bingo America.
Double overtime against Tennessee. It's all the way back to Anderson. And then there's the game within the game in this game. Mississippi State, number 2 in RPI. Arkansas plays later against Texas, number 4 in RPI. You see South Carolina and Texas both hanging in that top 25 as well. That is a major statistical marker by which it's decided how many home games you could host in the NCAA tournament. The reality for Arkansas or Mississippi State, win this tournament, you're going to be a number 1 seed. You'd host all the way up the College Cup. For South Carolina and Texas, how many games can you get in Columbia or Austin, respectively? You could argue that is the most important.
And that's why this next game for Arkansas is so important, because historically, they do not lose in Fayetteville. So if they get that number 1 seed, that's going to give them such a great advantage to be able to play in front of their fans who are root merciless, just like those Razorbacks.
Martinez Montoya. Both
I was like, what? Cause you see, like, women got all on the sub. Like, what's going on with the subs? Someone tried to hold the door. They cannot hold the door. That's how these fans get broken down. Like, gosh.
And I like this ambition here for Mississippi State. 4 of their last 7 goals have come from shots from distance. That's the magic that we've spoken about. This one doesn't really challenge Sayusif. Sayusif is able to secure possession. No Mississippi State players following in.
We have some soccer fans who was here. It is from the University of South Carolina and from Mississippi State University.
Last round, Wes Hart from Alabama said, when they keep dropping the way they do, we think we've got an advantage shooting from that range.
Well, it's a South Carolina team who is very cautious, very risk-averse. They'll drop.
Zuloff looking for Collins.
They'll keep dropping their defensive line to protect the goal, and that leaves space on the top of the box. That's why one of our keys for tonight in Mississippi State is get the ball in the pocket. Ali Perry, Martinez Montoya have it in their arsenal to be able to strike from distance.
Ball from Barry continues. Render goes in. That's a foul. Here's our Week 11 SEC Network football lineup. Command Center presentation for Florida and number 5 Texas. Comes your way at noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central. 4 different camera angles, real-time player and team stats. Then at 4:15, number 24 Vandy taking on South Carolina. We cap the night with Oklahoma and Mizzou in Columbia, Missouri, 7:45. This game also available on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. South Carolina coming off that pretty remarkable win over Texas A&M. Vanderbilt hanging in the top 25. Barry. Hodge chasing from behind over to Collins. Katie Shea Collins!
Oh, wow.
Anderson, what a save.
Hamilton it away.
And launched by Mississippi State.
What a save, but one again, another great defensive play from Riley Combs.
Barry drew everybody in, and Collins was the beneficiary. Driven across the box, headed away, Follow went for it. So too Bam. What a save from Anderson.
The mastery of subtle movement here from the tag team up top. Kat Barry leaks into the midfield. That leaves space for Katie Shea Collins. But just look at the recovery run here of Riley Combs as she slides across to diffuse this situation and get pressure on Collins. Forces Maddie Anderson into a good save as she has to read it between the defender's legs.
Grad student goalkeeper against the freshman goal scorer. Advantage Anderson. For now. You know, I give a ton of credit. It's rained a lot this week here. The goalkeepers are going to have to deal with just a little more mud in their penalty areas. Overall, the field looks fantastic. They've done great work over the last couple of days trying to repair what damage 8 games in 3 days will do.
And not only the weather, Mike, forces these goalkeepers to have to be more decisive, but the quality of attackers and their willingness to support attacks, get higher up in the field, and feast on those chances. That's exactly why these 4 teams are in the top 4 in the SEC, as they are so opportunistic in front of goal.
Long throw in, Barry ushers it by, flicked along by Zuloff, comes high, Patrick turning, that's blocked. Herring's free and sent long. Out beyond El McCaslin, who came in off the bench for Mississippi State. Anderson, prodigious record holder now. Career shutouts, single season shutouts. 13 clean sheets, only 5 goals allowed all year by the Bulldogs.
That's mind-blowing. You only had to pick the ball out of the back of the net 5 times. 5 errors this team has made to concede goals. And Maddie Anderson has been the leader in this back line for Mississippi State. You see her being able to start possession out of the back and building and orchestrating Mississippi's attacks. But her presence inside the penalty area is what makes her the best goalkeeper in this conference.
Barry. Render. Fala. Turns down the outlet to Schubach and Fala driving. Now Schubach. Flicks for Collins. Sent away by Combs, but into the path of Render. Schubach over Barry.
Fantastic maturity from Gracie Fowle, the center back for South Carolina, to engage the press of Mississippi State. Use the width from Reagan Schubach, and then it's a good movement there from Katie Shea Collins to slide across to create those 2v2s. South Carolina knows they want to get the ball into those wide channels, that they don't want to get pinned into Mississippi State. So as soon as that ball gets played out wide, they need immediate support to the ball carrier to progress through Mississippi State's pressure pockets.
Fala, an incredible athlete. Center forward, playing club ball. Collins tossing Gutierrez aside. Also all-district as a basketball player. Weren't so sure about whether she'd be able to slot right in as a center back for South Carolina as a true freshman, but Fala did, and Fala is not giving the job up. Defender of the year last year, first team all-conference this year. Fala into the back of Elma Caslin.
And it was by necessity, but it seemed well scripted from Coach Jamie Smith to put Gracie Fowle in there next to Jalissa Harris, who was a standout center back for this South Carolina team. Went on to get drafted by the Houston Dash, playing last week in their game with goalkeeper Heather Hinds and Ryan Garris up top. The South Carolina team consistently putting players in the pro game.
3 starters for the Dash in their regular season finale out of the South
Because
Carolina
of course,
program.
when we was inside of the Tropicana Atlantic City for as we went to see the show, it was it was kind of pretty fun, you know.
Dealt with a long series of injuries. Hip, knee, number of stitches too. And under the tutelage, Shelley and Jamie
Well,
Smith.
good then in July they split up. I'm just so excited because now we are closest to the end of the week number 1 of November. So now listen, tomorrow.
I don't care what Shelley Smith says. Quote, we are not a defensive team. You're a defensive team. You have some of the best defensive players that have ever played in college soccer in your program.
You've got Shelley, and then you've got her husband Jamie, who tends to oversee the defensive side.
So organized. Every time, Mike, that we speak to an SEC coach that just played South Carolina, that's always the first thing that he says. They're so organized. And then you add players like Gracie Fowle in the back line who brings the energy, the combativeness, the willingness to win first and second balls, and you get the patience of Meadows next to her. It's a great combination in this South Carolina back line who've got those very athletic fullbacks.
There's a reason it is Familia FC, the supporters group, because it is genuinely a family operation over in South Carolina.
Yeah, Marty Merritt's in the family too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Ball launched forward. To the post.
No! Way off!
And that looked eerily familiar.
Oh, and this is Schoolyard defending here from South Carolina.
What is this?
Mississippi State.
What is this?
Back post here. And South Carolina players just put their hands up. It's going to go out. Gets around the edge there of Zula. She puts her hands up.
Oh, no!
So you can feel if that pressure's coming because the positor's inches away.
No, that is off!
Lesson learned for South Carolina.
Sayusis, 6 saves against Alabama. Probably pretty grateful she wasn't actually tested there. Notably off the bench, Karina Zulo had her 100th appearance as a Gamecock on Tuesday night.
So I'm gonna tell you this because with the field pass with the Pat McAfee show.
Settle the midfield. I think they did what they aimed to do by bringing Caetano into the starting lineup.
Yeah, and they
That's a good pass to one of our players, and good. Wow.
Really mitigated any influence that Mississippi State would have on the attack, and it's predominantly coming from Gracie Follow, the center back, who is just willing to take space right now, build up this right-hand side with Bree Bem and Reagan Schubach.
Zulo's sister, Luciana, was in the building as well. A tremendous player for the Gamecocks. Zulo's work rate, unbelievable. Primarily been a starter this year and has accepted the role on this day coming off the bench. Meanwhile, Martinez Montoya.
And here's a little bit of that aggressive combativeness from Gracie Follow, trying to get stuck in there on Martinez Montoya. That's going to be an important factor for this South Carolina team, getting pressure on those pocket players and denying them the ability to get face forward and orchestrate their possession.
Hodge hammers the switch. Here's Alexis Gutierrez. Perry, that just snuck by. Hannah Johnson. Goal and an assist last time out. Falla knocks it away.
Yeah. This is what I want to see from Mississippi State. Much better. Bringing in a Johnson.
I didn't ask you where you were.
Schubach leaves. That demands the pressure from Gracie Follow to move out of a central position. Gets that little toe poke in there, but Johnson has been one of the most underrated players here for Mississippi State this season.
3 goals, 7 assists. The assist as good as the goal for the winner. Last time out for Mississippi State. Over 100 goals at Oak Leaf High School in Florida. The Jacksonville area. Corner bounces off the outside of the net.
Well, something's one of so this is what's going on because we do have some multiple games coming your way for this SEC network. So I know Missouri will take on the Tennessee.
Georgia Bulldogs taking on the number 16 Ole Miss Rebels.
Look for SEC on ABC. Georgia will take on Ole Miss. But in fact, that's what SEC Nation will take in place in Oxford, Mississippi. Last year, I know it used to take it to Georgia.
I think we are barking up the wrong tree as the audience that wants to know when Ole Miss is playing a football game. I'm not sure this is the audience we were trying to speak to. Here's the shade for Kinley Brown. Major hip surgery for her since arriving. Missed the 2022 season, 9 games last year. Practically come off the bench every game this year.
And Allie Perry, right there, number 5 in white for Mississippi State. She is a player that this state team needs to get on the ball. She's had limited touches in this first half. She kind of vanished in that last game against Tennessee in the second half of that, and that really influenced Mississippi State's attack. She's a player they need to find in the pocket, faced up, look to generate a bit more attack off of.
9 goals for Perry. Maybe made your top 10. We'll unveil the first half of that at halftime. The top 10 regular season SEC goals.
No, she's definitely in it. I mean, she is a completely new role here for Mississippi State. There's a player overseas, Thomas.
Well, what I'll tell you this, some years ago at the Arden,
which just means space.
let me tell you,
And he
I used to see the Fran and the Bull, the U.S. Strong and Tall, especially the U.S. Strong and Tall, and that's the best play, that's the best performance I've ever watched before. And I saw it again back in 2016. And also,
All right, so just who's a what?
oh, and before that, I used to see the Jungle Book at the Arden, like on the day of when the all school district public schools have to dismiss students
your teammates in the opposition.
It's
in the ball.
because
I
of
just want to confuse closed captioning. Can you just say the word
because of excessive heat.
Space well, which would make her
And also in the fall, I used to see
Say that next
Hans
time with your
Brinker
friends. I'm gonna impress them.
and
My friends.
the Silver Skates.
I'm impressed.
Yes, Hans Brinker and the Silver Skates. Yes, Hans Brinker and the Silver Skates at the Arden. In 2016, when I was at the Arden, I used to see was
With German major at Villanova, Jill Lloyden, Mike Watts.
Scoreless it was the year of Southern Soul in the fall,
Mississippi State.
and like in 2019,
Punched up and away by Anderson. Had to climb a
but in
ladder to get over
2019,
Cat Berry.
I used to see was the Treasure Island play.
So difficult. Probably one of the more difficult aspects of goalkeeping is to be able to make that decision when you're in space defense just at the edge of your box.
University.
Not sure if you're going to have to come out and use your body or if you're going to have the ability to use your hands.
Martinez Montoya threading through into Sayusis.
And as a goalkeeper in that situation, she read the movement and the positioning of Riley Combs. They have such a good relationship off of each other. She knows if Riley Combs is in front of the attacker, in between the ball and the attacker, that's going to provide an opportunity for Maddie Anderson to come out because Combs is going to delay the run of that attacker.
Follow. By the way, Cat Berry officially towers just 4 inches over Maddie Anderson. All right, let's. This is why you do the vert leaps, right?
Well, it's a perfectly weighted ball. Just Maddie Anderson able to come off her line, prevent that opportunity, gets a fist, punches it away. But again, it stems from that relationship between her and Riley Combs all season long. They've been working together, welling, mounting counterattacks in that exact situation.
Mally,
Way down to Sayusis.
Well, we're under 13 minutes to go in the first half. A lot of time, plenty of time left to play. It's not a deal, okay?
Semi-final
So
Thursday,
our goal is to
the SEC
win this
Soccer
game and on to the
Championship. Arguably the best field of
semifinals. And that's our
semifinalists
goal.
in the country.
No, I'm sorry. Our goal is to head on for the
Top 4
SEC
seeds for
championship game.
First time since
Because now,
2016.
this November 10th,
Leading
it's
up to
all
Sunday's
down to this.
championship.
Whichever
We're on
team
SEC Network, 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central.
wins the game will be the SEC champions. But if the score is tied, if it's scoreless for 2 halves, and that means we go into the overtime. If the score is still scoreless, and then we have to go on to the second overtime. And with that, and here's the
Although my
rule.
chaperone costume wouldn't have fit in my luggage.
It'll be 10 minutes of play between the first overtime and second overtime. And whichever team makes the goal
10,000 ways to go there.
wins the game.
Hard night.
No, it's
That's how it goes. If it's a semifinals, so now that means you gotta be careful because you don't want to be eliminated because
Show respect.
I
Yeah.
just be speechless.
Show some respect.
Because
You did.
In on the
if
day.
I know.
if your
My
team
mouth was
wins,
agape.
you'll move on to the championship.
Corner
If
coming
not,
for South Carolina.
if your team lose,
Second
that's
of the
it,
game.
and your season will come to an end. You will walk home away. You don't want that, so you should be very careful.
Ball off the
Oh
top of the net.
no. That's a good opportunity, but it went
These are subs
above
5,
the
8,
net.
6 for Mississippi
The
State.
ball has went
Sutton, Webb, McKinnon, Braswell
went
into the
on the
game.
net above.
You'd thing about
So
Mississippi
I'm telling you,
State, 6 subs at this
it's
point.
gonna be crazy.
4 played the full 101, including the goalkeeper against Tennessee.
Listen now,
Made 19 total
women's
subs.
soccer games are so fun and exciting because,
7
especially
players
in
off the
tournaments,
bench in totality.
including the first round, quarterfinals, semifinals, and the championship. Now, the championship, whichever team has made it to the championship game, whichever team wins, will be the champions. But out of the semifinals,
We spoke with Ange Kelly a little bit
and
about
it's all
it.
down to that.
They
Whichever
five
team
subs
wins
in
it
that game.
will move on to the
All set going into
championship.
Sutton Webb. Say, is this it for
Oh no! That is way off. That's way off. Way off.
through the window?
Man, that almost hit a window.
Better attacking play for Mississippi State. It's a direct ball into the 9, hold up play, allow numbers underneath with players facing forward. This is much better. Just that little combination play that creates a bit
And of course,
pocket of space for
tell me,
runners
tell you,
to
oh
unleash
wow,
from distance.
that almost hit the
Mississippi
window over
State
there.
need to get the ball
My
into the 9
good
a little
grief.
more to see if she can bump the midfielders into the game where they're facing forward and can assess where those pockets are to exploit between South Carolina's defense.
I didn't see anything. I'm glad you
Tackle
did.
for Mississippi State have it. Emma Meisel coming in a moment ago.
What do you got? Well,
6 subs for South Carolina.
even though today is
as
going to be
well.
a big day for.
Let's go back to what Ange Kelly said. We play to win the game, not win the tournament. There's no point in overplaying your hand in a game and then not having it tomorrow. Here's Johnson. Plays square. This from distance will not trouble Siusis, but it's clear this has become a focal point.
This is much better from Mississippi State. You see Harris in central positions, looking to get faced up and exploiting that space that South Carolina leaves at the edge of their box. Their defenders drop. They absorb the runs of Mississippi
But I'm
State.
telling you,
That leaves space in the pocket. South Carolina's double pivot is going to have to pick up that space and deny opportunities for Mississippi State.
Oh wow.
Gutierrez intervened. It came right to Meisel and ultimately to Zulo.
Pushing him to the limit. What have we got coming down?
The B. B13.
You need it.
South Carolina only 2 losses all season. They lost at Arkansas and they lost the home finale against Mississippi State. Here's Lauren Taylor into the game. 5 appearances in the regular year, played in SEC games against LSU, Missouri, and South Carolina in the
And
finale.
of course,
Maggie Wadsworth to the bench. Has dealt with some injuries. Could say that her best performance since coming back from injury in the last month was against South Carolina on the road. As Kara Harris spins around.
of course, tell you that the formal is a little like a trial. We got it. It's like something nice. You know what I mean?
Mississippi State's got 4. Yeah, Wadsworth, I think, very apparent between Maine and Wadsworth.
Wow.
Some danger players. Taylor getting a chance with some fresh legs to get after it now.
Well, that 9 position for Mississippi State is an integral way that they like to attack. They will play direct into that, whether they're defending in their defensive third or if they create a turnover in central positions. We saw it in the open. We highlighted how important that 9 position was to then bring the midfield into the game. And that has really been something that has hampered Mississippi State's attack. They haven't found the 9 consistently in this
Well, I'm
game.
telling you this. Why these women's soccer games are so excited. In fact, what makes you come here? What makes you so excited? Waited all night, I'm telling you.
She didn't get all conference honors, but you could see the way the team didn't run to Martinez Montoya. That's not a knock on the player who scored the goal.
This is gonna be so exciting.
Martinez Montoya, for that matter, to celebrate. But it was funny talking to James Armstrong.
Oh.
I mean, the world fell off its axis. This is a SportsCenter top 10 game-winning golden goal. It's like, hey, everyone off the field, all right? Alabama's trying to get on.
It was an incredible goal. Such a fun game to watch. Hannah Johnson certainly on her revenge tour here at the SEC tournament. Had a goal.
Now, of course, tell me to tell you that today this is going to be a very big day. Like, what? Because I was going to say the same.
Slash back across the face and deflected out for
Oh, boy.
Wagner played a ton her freshman year at Oklahoma, but last time after Matt Mott took over the program, only 170 minutes last year. So Wagner, the daughter of a Missouri track star, Kelly, and Navy soccer star, Jeff, transferring in Mississippi State. Played a ton off the bench this year. Second quarter coming here for the Bulldogs.
Because of course, tell me to tell you that when we got something like from Wendy's, like before we got on the subway, but now we had to where we need to get off that? Want to know this? Oh wow! Yes, we had to go to Academy of Music. It's gonna be fun, and I knew it because by now, as I was saying, in that ceiling up there. I know. Wait a minute. What did I remember? Oh yeah, the year before. Yes, the year before. We went to the Academy of Music because I was so excited to come.
Good work by Kinley Brown to open that up a bit.
And that is true. I'm telling you. Well, what makes us so excited? And of course, see, I'm going to tell you that.
Down to Macy High.
Like the Philadelphia Eagles. It is true. But I'm telling you, I can tell you. Let me tell you this. And when I graduate, I'll be working at Apple. And my position will be is inventory specialist. Let me tell you this. They restarts everything was in store and see what items has arrived. And you're the first one that will be opened up and to be sent with items and the Apple Store to the whole team. But you must let one of your workers know that
entry passes into Cat Berry, but in that midfield, so important for her to possess that little bit of rough house pressing with that surgically precise passing as well for Mississippi State.
And I haven't been to this Academy of Music before, like I used to. And guess what we're right next to? Right next to and we're actually right across the street from the Camel Center. Ooh. Hello, beautiful people. We're live at the Camel Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and this day begins now. I'm just so excited about today. It's a big, big day. I'm sure because everyone's going to making their way. We're getting their seats now, so that's it.
Was suspended for the other yellow cards. Hodge and Gutierrez both that dreaded 5 cards.
For dinner time, I'm actually going to eat some chicken ramen with some broccoli left over.
Placed down by Taylor.
Ooh. And of course, tell me to tell you that I really love roasted broccoli. In fact, I have been like for 4 years since 2021. Uh-oh.
Change of possession coming up at halftime.
Coming up at half, look at goals of the year. And an SEC Crew fundraiser for V.org and first half highlights. That's going to be up at the half, right after this first half ends. And so far, we did not score anything. I didn't plan on doing it in the second half. When we get back from halftime, once anyone get a breather, once anyone gets a break, and then once we start the second half, we are wow.
In the truck gives me the cards, so she didn't write it because she's far too humble. But
wow, good play using your head. Because the thing is,
so excited to have her with us
I'm
yet again. the best in the business.
Yeah, I was about to say that too. So come on, get it, get it, get it, get it! Oh man, whoa! Okay, okay, okay. All right. Woo! That ball was went out of bounds almost. Come on, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it! Ooh, ooh! Oh no! He was close. We had it. We had it in bounds until it just went out. Wow! My goodness. Here we go. Final few seconds left. Can we beat it? And we will not. Nope. That will do it for the first half.
These two stalwarts scoreless at halftime, Jill.
Yeah, that was a proper
Wow.
award for this first half. South Carolina started on the front foot. They took advantage of Mississippi State's a bit more passive press. They got those center backs up, created some possession through the midfield. That allowed them to have a bit of territory control in their final third, but Mississippi State grew into that first half. They made some subs, got some fresh legs in there, changed the complexion of their midfield, and started to put a bit more pressure on South Carolina's defensive line.
And two coaches of great renown with epic stars looking for the breakthrough in this 1-4 matchup at the SEC tournament semifinal. Winner of this game will ultimately play
The winner of this game will move on to the
semifinal,
championship
Texas
game
and
for this
Arkansas.
Sunday, November 10th at
And
2 o'clock
both well
p.m.
aware that this was always going to be a complicated affair.
And Friday at 9 o'clock p.m. tomorrow, Oklahoma Sooners will take on Virginia Cavaliers.
That's on Mississippi State.
That's going to be coming up tomorrow night. It's going to be very late. I don't know. I don't know if I can watch this game all night. I have to see. Well,
what changes did you make, and did you feel like you guys made the best of this first half against South Carolina?
Yeah, I mean, I thought obviously South Carolina is a great team and really dangerous up front, so I thought we protected the space, hid the space in behind pretty well. I thought the defenders played a great half. We just gotta get better when we have the ball. We've got to get our
man,
holding
this
mids on the
Sunday's
ball,
kind
we've got to
of
get our attacking mids on the ball, and
crazy
some
and
better movement
loud.
for our centre forward. So that's going to be kind of the key for what we're going to talk about in the second half.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, getting your 9 on the ball a bit more to be able to establish play and get those midfielders facing forward.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we've got to at least get number 9 on the ball, get underneath support, or at least get her to be able to get in behind and not be proactive rather than reactive.
James, appreciate the time.
Thanks, guys. Hill State.
Coming up after the break, a look at Jill's top goals of the year. We go number 10 to number 6. You want to see it all, you got to stay for the whole semifinal Thursday. Scoreless. Gritty game here in Pensacola between South Carolina.
All right, now it's
and Mississippi
halftime
State.
right now. So let's take a breather and we will come back here in a little while. Second half will be soon.